For all my friends on Facebook, people I can't give my normal presents to via coronavirus, too far away, mailing's too expensive, whatever. I'm gonna give you the recipe of my most requested holiday treat. Also, kudos go out to Mrs. Hansler for teaching us this in Living Skills 1 or 2, hashtag Cindy Denning. Also, I couldn't remember it, I lost the recipe, but she gave me the idea. So I use this old English toffee recipe, but instead of doing the 4 squares of semi-sweet chocolate, I use butterscotch and chocolate chips because that's how she did it. I remember that. Okay, so I pre-measured everything because I know you guys know how to use tablespoons, cups, and all the utensils. So this is just the recipe. Here is my pan. All right, and you take the first 4 ingredients. Oh, let me get my candy thermometer because I am lucky enough to have one, but I will show you how to do it without. All right, so it's a long process, so we'll be cutting things out. So sugar, that is 1 cup. 1 cup butter. Should have unwrapped this one beforehand. And I know you all washed your hands first. All right. Butter, 1/4 cup of water, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, that's good enough for now. Now you're gonna melt it. And I have a candy thermometer, like I said, but I'm also gonna teach you how to do it without. I'm gonna do this on what kind of heat? Medium heat. So I'm gonna do that. And then we'll just wait for a second for that butter to melt. So for those of you who don't make candy regularly, this is how you do it. You get an ice cold cup of water, and I'll just use this. I'll have Tom do that. But you get an ice cold cup of water, and there's several stages. Now you want to get your candy thermometer up to 300 degrees. And I can't show you this, but there's soft ball, hard ball, and then there's softball, hard ball, soft crack, and hard crack. And we wanted it hard crack because it is toffee, basically. We call it Almond Roca, but because of the nut issue, I just use kosher salt on top. But you could use almonds or peanuts or pecans or whatever you wanted. You could use anything, but that's what I do. So I'm going to stir this, and we're going to give Tom a break, and I'll show you what to do next when the butter's melted. All right, so my butter has melted, and if you come close and you look inside the pot, this is what it looks like at the beginning stages. That's all your stuff combined. And it's going to look like that. So this is going to get darker and darker. And so far it's not even ready to test. But this is what it's supposed to look like. All right, you guys, so I am using Fahrenheit, not Celsius, and we're getting to 300. And now we're just about at the softball stage. So it's about 250. Just going over it because it's going quick, but this is what you do. You take a little bit of this, and you put it in your ice water, like that. And then you take the ice water out. Ooh. And I'm going like this. See, that's the softball stage. That I can squish it that easily. That's softball.
Now, why do you put it in ice water?
so that it hardens up and you don't burn your hands. And by the way, getting this on you hurts and will scar you. And if you get some on your fingers, do not lick it off. You will have scars on your mouth. Just saying. I don't know anyone who's done that. All right. We are on our way to hardball, which is going to be at about, I'd say, looks like around 275 Fahrenheit. I'm just going to reiterate it to you. Celsius, you are going to have this on fire. Okay. Yeah, I think I have scars on my, that's a scar. It's like, you got to just be really careful. And I get one every year, so let's see where it's going to happen this year. And I knew better that one year. And I did it anyway.
It's like, is this going to be hot? Yes!
Okay, I gotta look at my camera. And,
Yeah, it's super tempting because it smells so good to just grab it, but yeah.
okay, it looks like I'm at the hardball stage. It's about 275.
So demonstrate that one.
So again, you take a little bit, pour it into your ice water. Ooh, see how hard that is? That it's trying to come off. Definitely. See, I did it again. I touched it, and it's sinking, which didn't happen last time. I'm gonna go like this. This is hard, and it's starting to crack a little, so it's moving on. All right. Yep, because you know what? We missed hardball, we're past softball, and we are coming to 300 in like maybe 2 seconds. So what hardball should look like is stringy. Like that, not quite. Like, look at that. Look how hard that is. I should probably use a different spoon so it's more accurate. You hear that? That is what you want it to sound like. You want to hear that crack. Okay, so now I know it's supposed to be darker than this.
Is it because of the almonds?
I don't know, Tom. Let me just check. Quickly stir in vanilla. Okay, so we don't need to take it off the thing. This might be what makes it our dark color. And stir that in. Definitely should be darker than this. So I know I gotta cook it longer. Let me just try one more time with a different spoon. Yep. Check that out. Well, now it's coming around. All right, so I knew my temperature was off because it wasn't the right color. And I must have been holding it in the wrong spot. Plus, I didn't get that true hard crack stage. It was like some of it was and some of it wasn't. So let's just see. See how those are all strings? That's what I want. There you go. It's pretty much what you want. I need a different stir because I just did that. I'm going to call it good because see how dark that is? You guys know what the toffee looks like on the inside. So this looks right about right. Okay, so come over here. And now you want to pour it in an ungreased cookie sheet. Now it's metal. I don't think you want to pour this on a silicone thing.
Probably melt.
All right, I need.
Don't
I
forget,
call these a
it's
child cheater.
crazy hot.
These, I think it's actually a rubber spatula.
Yes. Do not forget that this is still 300 degrees or so. So it's very, very hot. So
Do not make a double batch of this. That would be very bad. You want to do individuals.
Why is that?
Because it's a lot easier to screw up with a double.
I see.
Candy's pretty much like science, and it's like you have to have that exact thing. This is my favorite part. As soon as I do this, so you get rid of the air bubbles. But if you don't get all of them, who cares, right?
It's part of the charm.
So now, I'm just gonna get a spoon because now we're gonna add our chocolate chips. Now this recipe with the double boiler, so if we were to do the semi-sweet chocolate, white with bars, we have to melt it first and then put it on top. This is much quicker. Now, I'm a milk chocolate fan, but these are semi-sweet because most people don't like, I'm mixing it with the butterscotch. This is the cool part, is, well, I think that's actually perfect the way I want it, so it turned out better than I hoped. And you get your chocolate chips, and then you get your butterscotch. And you get to just choose how you want to do it. This isn't a measurement thing. This part is just, whoops, how it's going to look. Oh, I accidentally poured too much, but that'll be okay. So then, just take your spoon and spread them out. And they will naturally melt. The melting point of chocolate is 108 degrees.
Go.
All right, so while you guys were gone, while I was gone, I put some salt on. I didn't put any nuts on because I chose not to. So now we're going to break it apart. So we can use our hands. Ow, that hurt. Alright. And I cheated and put it in the freezer. So, and you can go as little as you want. Some of these aren't my proudest pieces, but it's also very soothing for whatever. And don't give people a lot because they'll get sick. And there's so much sugar. Do not give this to a diabetic, ever. All right, Tom, you want to try it? Did you want to eat it?
Delicious.
All right, passes Tom's approval.
Yes, fine.
All right, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating, may all your days be merry.